Welcome back to Sports Buzz. On tonight's show, we talk with the local Knox County coach about moving on to regionals this weekend in girls high school basketball.
3 Lincoln High School wrestlers are moving on to semi-state in Evansville.
A Vincent University three-point career record was broken last night, and we spoke with the player and coach. All that and more coming up on Sports Buzz. Welcome to Sports Buzz. I'm Dalton Ewer.
And I'm Aiden Baugh. For the second year in a row and 22nd time overall, the North Knox Lady Warriors are sectional champions. The top-ranked team in Class 2A survived a grueling 8-team sectional and held off the upset-minded Paoli Rams 29-24 to win the title on Saturday. Brooklyn Sturgeon led the Warriors with 8 points, while Lexi Primus and Alex McKinley added 7 each. The game was dominated by defense on both sides and was tied at 14 entering the fourth quarter. Head coach Steve Muir attributed his team's success all season to both his team's depth and especially contributions from underclassmen, which he feels gives the Warriors a big advantage in tough games.
I've had so many people lead me in scoring this year. It's really hard to concentrate on one player. So if one person's having a bad game, someone else will step up to the plate. And, when you're 8 or 9, 10 deep, like we are, we usually, can replace people that are not playing well.
North Knox will meet South Ripley this Saturday at 4 p.m. in the Crawford County Regional, with the winner advancing to semi-state.
In the Class 3A sectional at Princeton, the Tigers won the sectional championship on their home court, beating Southridge in the final game 50-45. The Tigers reversed a 19-point home loss to the Raiders on November 8th. It was their first sectional title since 2015. Jackie Young's team eventually won state. Princeton is coached by Travis Connor, who led Vincent Lincoln to 4 consecutive sectional titles from 2016 to 2019, including, ironically, 3 against the Tigers. Princeton made it to the championship game by downing Washington in an overtime win 53-50. It was their second win over the Hatchets this season. The Tigers now advance to the Charlestown Regional on Saturday, where they will play county rival Gibson Southern. The Titans advanced on Monday when they beat Evansville Memorial. They became the 3rd team from Gibson County headed to regional play this weekend. Vincent Lincoln's season came to an end as Southridge defeated the Alices 52-44 in the semifinals on Friday. Ari Gherkin led Lincoln with 24 points, but the Alices were unable to stop a balanced Raiders attack led by Bailey Keish with 14 points and Ava Montgomery with 13. It was the final game for seniors Faith Fleetwood and Gracie Kramer. The Alices finished the season at 11-12.
In Class A, Reveille's season also came to an end as the Patriots fell to host Springs Valley 53-45. Kennedy Fry led Reveille with 16 points and sister Lexi Fry added 13, but Blackhawks freshman Maddie Carnes torched the Patriots with 19 points, including 4 3-point shots. It was Reveille's first loss in Class A sectional since 2015, as the Patriots were moved to 2A in 2020 and 2021 due to the IHSAA tournament success rule. It was the final game for seniors Kennedy Fry, Katie McGuire, Candace Mills, and Kenzie Willis. Reveille finishes at 13-11. Springs Valley went on to defeat Bar Reeve 41-40 for the championship. The Blackhawks will face Trinity Lutheran in the first game of the West Washington Regional on Saturday.
Other area teams advancing to regionals this weekend include the Bloomfield Cardinals. They defeated North Central 53-46 to advance to the Class A Regional at Southwestern in Shelbyville. Wood Memorial won the Tecumseh sectional, downing the host school in a tight one, 44-42. They will play Lanesville at the West Washington Regional.
In Class 2A, Forest Park is headed to the regional round again. The Rangers coasted by South Spencer 47-23 and will play at the Crawford County Regional against Brownstown Central. In Class 4A, Evansville Central will play powerhouse Bedford North Lawrence at B&L. The Bears came away with a 51-46 win over Jasper on Monday.
In Illinois, the Lawrenceville girls celebrated senior night Tuesday with a 49-33 win over county rival Red Hill. It was the Indians' second win over the Salukis this season, as Lawrenceville also won 48-37 on December 1st. Lone senior Gracie Stallings led Lawrenceville with 21 points, and Mallory Lockhart added 15. Tess Heath led the Red Hill with 11 points and 3 rebounds. The Indians wrap up their season on Wednesday at Clay City, and then will travel to Mount Carmel for its Class 2A regional opener Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. Red Hill closes out their regular season tonight when they host Martinsville. They open postseason play in Class A Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Central at Weber Township.
The Lincoln boys finally got back in the win column Saturday with a 64-54 win over the Shoals Jug Rocks, snapping a 7-game losing streak. 4 Alices reached double figures as Gus McCrary and Luke Tolliver each scored 13 points, while Wade Hall and Zach Steffi added 10 each. First-year coach Dave Mahurin, who coached at South Vermilion, Rockville, and Edgewood prior to Vincennes, won his 400th career game. Lincoln hosts Eastern Green on Friday at 7:30. JV will begin at 6:30 and will only last 2 quarters. The Alice's Saturday contest at Wood Memorial has also seen a time change. The JV contest will get underway at noon, followed by the varsity contest at 1:30. The new time is due to the Trojans girls basketball team playing at the West Washington Regional.
Tommy Herman had perhaps his best game of the season Tuesday with a double-double of 37 points and 13 rebounds, as Reveille snapped a 6-game losing streak at Washington Catholic, 56-38. Isaac Cotter added 8 points and 5 steals for the Patriots, who pulled away in the fourth quarter. Reveille completed a regular season sweep of the Cardinals, having also won 53-43 on December 9th. The Patriots will be back in action tomorrow night as they host Shoals in a Blue Chip Conference contest. The Jug Rocks are 8-9 on the season and are coming off a 10-point loss to Vincennes Lincoln. Tip-off for the varsity-only contest is scheduled for 6 p.m.
The South Knox Spartans went 1-1 against Evansville teams last week. In the first ever meeting between the two schools, the Spartans knocked off the North Huskies last Thursday, 46-34, behind Dylan Mader's 20 points. Then on Saturday, Sam Singleton scored 20 for South Knox, but it wasn't enough as the Wrights Panthers edged the Spartans 58-50. South Knox is now 11-7 and travels to Bar Reef for a blue chip matchup Friday.
Despite 11 points for Mason Lions, North Knox fell to Northeast Du Bois 64-26 in a blue chip boys matchup Saturday. Grant Goller came off the bench to score 18 points for the Jeeps, who took control in the first 16 minutes and led 38-11 at halftime. The loss dropped North Knox to 4-15 overall and 2-4 in the blue chip. The Warriors have another difficult test Friday at Class 3A number 4 North Davies.
The Lawrenceville Indians continued their winning ways Tuesday night as they crushed the Red Hill Salukis 77-49. The Indians completed a sweep of their county rivals after also winning in the Bridgeport 67-24 on December 2nd. Bryant Jenkins led the Lawrenceville with 26 points and 9 rebounds, while Landon Sanders added 18 points and Leighton Ivers had 12. Hayden Arbuckle led the Salukis with 15 points, followed by Ozzie Ash with 14. The Indians improved to 22-6 on the season and traveled to Casey Westfield for an LIC meeting Friday. Red Hill returns home Friday to face Robinson.
It was announced on Monday the site for the boys Class 3A sectional has been changed. The Southwest sectional will now be moved to Washington. This change affects several area schools, including Vincennes Lincoln, Washington, North Davies, Pike Central, Princeton, Southridge, and Heritage Hills. The move was made due to the lack of ability to provide wheelchair access to the floor. The gymnasium, built in 1951, is ADA compliant, but a sectional member school notified Southridge in January it would need access to the floor. The host school attempted to find solutions, but the accommodations couldn't be installed before the sectional.
3 Lincoln wrestlers advanced to this weekend's semi-state at the Ford Center in Evansville. Adam Reinhart has more on their quest for a state finals berth.
The Lincoln Alices will be well represented at the Ford Center in Evansville at Saturday's wrestling semi-state. Ty Henderson won a regional title, and he, Daniel Henderson, and Dax Weist all advanced to compete on Southwest Indiana's biggest stage for a shot at the state finals at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Coach Matt Collins is proud of how far his wrestlers have come this season.
Yeah, just been a progression. This is ultimately the most important time of the year, so everything up to this point has kind of been a test, and a lot of our kids have handled it well. And just like I said, happy to see those guys get rewarded.
At the Bloomington South Regional, Ty Henderson pinned his first 2 opponents and defeated Washington's Brady Bird for the regional title at 106 pounds. Weist and Daniel Henderson both finished 4th, but good enough to advance to semi-state. The Alices have faced tough competition throughout the season, including in the sectional and regional, which may have helped them in the postseason.
Absolutely. We've got the Modern Day Classic always around the first of the year. We have that always circled on our schedule. That's a true test of kind of where you're at. And then obviously with our sectional or regional, it is what it is. You know, we're not going to make excuses about the sectional or regional we're in. We just got to go out and do what we can do and be successful. And, you know, obviously when you see guys have some success, it's definitely worthwhile.
Now, these three wrestlers advance to their biggest stage of the season so far, the Ford Center, a much bigger stage than the high school gyms they've competed in all season.
It's a great venue. There's 4 semi-states in the state, and this is the only one that's not at a high school. So the Ford Center, in my opinion, is a great venue. We're fortunate to have it here in the southern part of the state. Evansville Reitz is the host school. Technically, they do an excellent job of running the semi-state, and it's just a great event.
The semi-state at the Ford Center starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, with the top 4 in each weight class advancing to the state finals at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. For Sports Buzz, I'm Adam Reinhart.
Lincoln placed 9th overall in the regional. Elsewhere at the Bloomington South Regional, North Knox wrestlers Grayson Conrad and Garrett Fuller both were eliminated in their opening matches.
No area swimmers advanced out of the Jasper sectional over the weekend. Vincent's Lincoln had 3 relay teams compete, while South Knox had 1 individual in the finals. The Alice's best showing was at the 200 freestyle relay. The team of McKenna Connor, Paris Robinson, Isabella Lang, and Javelin James placed 9th. The 200-yard medley team of Connor, Lang, James, and Peyton Dugan was 12th, while the 400 freestyle group of Connor, Dugan, Lang, and Macy Steele also placed 12th. South Knox's Eliza Dellinger recorded a pair of personal bests, placing 13th in 50 freestyle and 14th in 100 freestyle. Jasper was the overall winner, followed by Heritage Hills and Tell City. The boys swimming sectional preliminaries will get underway next Thursday.
Last night, the Trailblazers hosted rival number 4 John A. Logan, who gave VU one of their 2 losses back in December. In the first half, VU's game plan was to attack the paint, but the defense from the Volunteers made that difficult. The Volunteers had control early with a 9-2 lead before Michael Osebonsu pumped his team up, grabbing 5 offensive rebounds. The game went back and forth, and with 10 seconds left in the half, VU ran a play through Caleb Johnson. He stepped back behind the three-point line to drain a buzzer beater, giving the Trailblazers the lead 39-38. In the second half, it didn't go VU's way as the Volunteers' Kimari Peterson took over the game. He led all scorers with 21 points, 15 coming in the second half. John A. Logan came away with the win 78-68. Caleb Johnson led VU with 15 points. This was Blazers' 8th straight loss to the Volunteers, and they now fall to 22-3. VU hits the road this Saturday at 4 p.m. when they face Lakeland College.
Last night, Cheryl Newsom made history, becoming VU's all-time 3-points leader with 172 overall, as the Lady Blazers defeated John A. Logan 81-56. Newsom sank 5 3-point shots, including 4 in the fourth quarter. Past 2-time NJCAA All-American Ashley Bias for the record. After the game, both Newsom and Coach Harry Meeks spoke about what the record means to both her and the team.
It's exciting. Like, I don't know. I started off a little slow, but being able to come back and actually, have my teammates help me break that record was phenomenal.
Oh, I was really excited for her. She puts a lot into it, puts a lot into practice time, a lot into what we're doing as a team. She knows her spots, where she's supposed to shoot from, and she is a great kid and really a credit to Vincennes University.
With that win, the Trailblazers are now 17-8 and will be back at home next Wednesday against Lincoln Trail College.
Vincennes University will once again celebrate the life of a legendary coach and support the fight against cancer. Play 4K is an event uniting the fight against all cancers affecting women. Coach Kay Yao had a 22-year on-again and off-again battle with the disease. The former North Carolina State coach passed away in 2009. Teams across the nation are showing their support by wearing pink to honor those impacted by cancer. At VU, 2023 will mark the 10th time the Trailblazers have participated in the Play 4K event. In that time, the program has donated over $30,000 to the cause. If you would like to show your support for the event, head to vincennes.pbs.org to find the order form to get your own Play 4K t-shirt. Then email that form to VU Athletics Office Manager Lisa Tucker at ltucker@vinu.edu. Get your orders in soon so you have your shirt before the game on Wednesday, February 15th, when the Lady Trailblazers host Lincoln Trail College at 5 p.m.
The winter season is ending and spring will warm things up, which is great news for the Trailblazer baseball team. Kyle Lukes reports.
The Vincennes University baseball team season will get underway this Saturday as they travel to Cleveland State Community College. The Blazers will start off Saturday with a doubleheader followed by a single game on Sunday. The Blazers return several key players, including Colin Long, a sophomore center fielder who was selected to the 2022 Midwest Athletic Conference Gold Glove team. Long's fielding percentage was nearly perfect, committing only 3 errors in 47 games last season, while also leading the Blazers in home runs. Long feels the Blue and Gold have a quality team that can improve on last year's season.
We're young, but we got a lot of good guys on this team, a lot of guys that are going to have to step up and produce for us, and we got a good sophomore class too, and we got a lot of good leaders on this team.
Another top returner is third baseman Colton Evans. Evans was named to the second-team All-Conference at the MWAC baseball tournament in Normal, Illinois last spring. The utility infielder batted .411, recording 81 hits and 42 RBIs. Evans likes how this year's team has standards set high for this season.
Heading into this season, the expectations that I really have is I really hope that we stay high in the conference. I know we finished 4th and 5th last year, and I'm hoping to grab that 3 spot, if not the 2 or the 1.
Chris Barney will begin his 14th season as the boss of the Trailblazers. Last year's team finished 25-31 and 15-19 in the MWAC. Barney feels this year's mix of players will be competitive.
We have to get better on the mound. We've got a very good core of everyday players or position players on the field, but we've got to get better on the mound. We've addressed that through the recruiting process this year and have a lot more depth than I think we've had in years past, and looking forward to seeing how that pays off.
The team has been preparing for the season with heavy hearts as assistant coach Henry Hank Lopez Jr. passed away unexpectedly on January 9th. Lopez has been a part of the coaching staff for the last 5 years. He had also been an assistant for VU from 1990 to 2002 for Jerry Blumker. Lopez had various coaching stints at all 4 Knox County high schools, and he coached in the Vincennes area for over 30 years and was loved by all.
Coach Sermon and I, we both played for him. We've now coached with him. It was definitely tough for us. It's definitely going to be different, especially when we go on road trips, because he always drove the vans for us. He drove one of the vans, and the guys that were on his van are not looking forward to that trip, as you would expect. So it's definitely first road trip's going to be really hard on us as a team, knowing that he's not going to be there for us. But we know that, we come in here every day trying to make sure we make him proud. We work hard. We get after it.
With Sports Buzz, I'm Kyle Lukes.
Vincennes University's indoor track and field team continues to have a strong showing over the weekend at the IWU Midwest Classic. The men's team came into the weekend ranked 21 in this week's USTF CCCA rankings. Freshman Desroy Jordan led the way with a third-place finish in the 600 meters with a time of 1 minute and 21 seconds. Fellow freshmen Isaac Stanford and sophomore Matthew Kitani both placed in the top 10 for the 1,000 meters. Stanford finished 4th with a time of 2 minutes and 32 seconds, while Kitani finished 6th with a time of 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Wrapping up the men's side, Stanford, Kitani, and Jordan all teamed up with sophomore Trent Faulkner in the distance medley relay, placing 3rd with a time of 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
On the women's side, sophomore Brittany Page placed 14th in the 1,000 meters with a time of 3 minutes and 19 seconds. VU closed out the day with a 25th place finish from freshman Daisy Kennett in the mile with a time of 5 minutes and 59 seconds. The VU team will have a split meet this weekend with some of the runners and throwers competing in the Hoosier Hills meet tomorrow, and the rest competing on Saturday at the Jerry England Invitational.
A local college athlete won a national contest and passed some of her winnings to a local food pantry. Dalen Thornton recently entered the Dishing Out Dreams sweepstakes through Sodexo at Tecumseh Dining Center. She is a sophomore at Vincennes University and plays guard on the Lady Blazers basketball team. She's one of the 19 randomly selected winners and who got to donate $500 to the charity of their choice. Thornton chose Sandy's Pantry for her donation because of their help in supporting VU students.
I feel like I help students in a way that I don't really get recognized, so I feel like that feels the best. It's not all eyes on me when I'm trying to help the students in need. They just go into Sandy's Pantry and find all these amazing things, and they don't know where the money came from. They don't know where the donation came from, so I like to be hidden in that sense, just so students feel like they have support outside of their home financial problems or their school financial problems. They have help and support from the outside community.
In addition to the donation, Thornton received a Best Buy gift card.
And that's all for this edition of Sports Buzz. For everyone here at Vincennes University Broadcasting, I'm Dalton Ewert.
And I'm Aiden Baugh. Join us again next week